Hey, what's up guys? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Mortar Rocket Cycle is still an ever-present threat in Clash Royale. The ranked 13 player in the world is blasting opponents out of the game with this deck. By mastering the art of cycling as many mortars as possible, you unlock a higher health mortar that shoots goblins at the opponent. So you don't need a miner or a skeleton barrel, since the goblin does a lot of damage to the tower, especially when it's tanked for by the knight, or the opponent doesn't have enough elixir to defend. Because of the incredible cost efficiency of the cycle cards in this deck, you can generate positive elixir trades to throw more mortars and rockets at your opponent's towers. Only rocket units like an executioner, witch, or wizard that cost 5 elixir or more that you can finish off in single elixir. And once you reach double or triple elixir and know your opponent's deck, you can start to savagely cycle rockets. Despite most people believing that this deck was dead, it is still dominating the game. And you can use any other evolution in the deck, but mortar is by far my favorite. It's time to rampage with our rockets and assert dominance. Lots of love to everyone that's supporting the channel with credit code SirTag. Yo, what's up, Freddy? The end, my friend. Okay, I mean, I guess maybe this is the end of you. This is the end of the road. You're only gonna go down after we take your medals. Okay, so he's gonna have a Mega Knight deck. Definitely not something that we wanted to see here. If we're gonna go in for like skeletons, we can rock it on top of the Inferno Dragon and hit the Mega Knight. And I'm pretty sure that we can activate King Tower against the Mega Knight too, in most situations, but not right now. Reason is the Mega Knight doesn't have enough health. If I tornado, it's not going to be able to activate King Tower. So decided to go for the Knight instead and see what's up. So if our opponent's going to have a Mega Knight Inferno Dragon deck, generally it's going to be better for us to play a bit more aggressive right now with our mortar. If our opponent's not going to have enough elixir, then the mortar might lock onto the tower. And even if the mortar trades evenly, we're going to cycle the evolution a little bit faster. Always try to cycle your evolutions, and that is the strategy here. It's even better for us to go in for the mortar here and then drop our archers in the back, so then he's a little bit more negligent on the arrows. He's not going to drop it immediately. If he drops the arrows immediately, then obviously the archers aren't going to be able to clean up the graveyard skeletons fast enough. The mortar does lock onto the tower. I think it's another shot. I think one more. Please don't leave me stranded without another shot. Yes! Beautiful, baby! That's one of those things. You just look at the mortar and you know that it's going to get that last hit, that last Kobe shot. It's beautiful. All right, we can go in for a mortar again. We know our opponent's going to have Inferno Dragon and Mega Knight, so... Oh, what is this mid-ladder monstrosity, bro? What is this strategy? All right, I bet you he goes in for Inferno Dragon, so we're going to make a prediction with our archers. Doesn't do it. He's going to have arrows back in cycle any second. You know what? Let's just go for a knight. That's fine. I think I'm okay here. Even if he gets 2 piggies, it's totally chill. We get skeletons down. We should be able to pull back the barbarians. As long as the mortar stays alive, we're vibing. We get an ice spirit down and then go for archers. Lock onto the Inferno Dragon. Have the knight tanking for the goblins. And look at that. That's gobs of damage. That is just launching more and more goblins at his tower. Oh, it's nice. It's a satisfying experience to crush Mega Knight like that. And we know he's only going to have Mega Knight in cycles. So he's going to drop the Mega Knight at the river right in the mortar. And we'll distract it with a Knight. Really? You're going to go Evo Barbs again? Huh. I didn't think you would do that because it's going to take splash damage. Interesting to see that. Typically, the best play for him is to Inferno Dragon. But he doesn't have it in cycle because we already countered it. We're going to go in for our archers here. We're trying to go in for a mortar on defense. Nice, we're able to snipe the Mother Witch, and then we can go for a Knight so the Mega Knight doesn't jump on our tower. Notice how I'm trying to keep my opponent's elixir at a really low amount, so he's not able to go for a Graveyard plus Mega Knight. That's one of the #1 mistakes. Whenever you're playing against a Graveyard player that has good answers to your archers, if you let them go in for their Graveyard counter of your archers, like the arrows every single time, then you're going to lose the game. You're going to fall into this passive play style where you're never able to get out of this bad cycle. But if our opponent doesn't have elixir and he doesn't have the opportunity to go in for his Mega Knight, that's where the game starts to get really bad for him. So I'm going to try to get an Ice Spirit down here and then a Knight. And if the mortar stays locked in the tower, I will walk away with the win. Yeah, it was a really clean game on our end. And somehow, some way, we didn't even feel worried in the slightest against a archer's counter of arrows and also a Mother Witch to go and snipe all of our skeletons and ice spirits. It could have been sketchy if we made one misstep, but luckily we didn't. Freddy and his Mega Knight jumped right down to doom while we jumped up a little bit higher up on ladder. Hey, this guy's got the bats banner. Let's go. I'm excited to blast those bats down. We got tornado, we got archers, we got ice spirit, we got everything we could ever ask for. I'm not really scared of bats, and I don't think that anyone is. Okay, he's gonna have rage, so it's probably gonna be a Sparky deck, which is amazing for us because we've got rocket. Wait, this is going to be so much fun. I am excited. So, I am going to show you guys the might of the mortar versus Sparky. It is one of the best matchups for this deck. And because Sparky is everywhere, you're going to be playing against it a lot. We're going to go for archers aggressively here. And we're going to posture in a position with ice spirit, skeletons, and to see what he does. Because when you get to spam this relentlessly and you get a goblin giant out of them, oh, I thought he would Goblin Giant, but he's dropping Barbarians. Maybe he's not running the deck I thought. Get Archers down. We should be able to kill those Barbarians and then have the Mortar lock on the tower. And then just like look at it and be like, hey, what's up, dude? How you feeling with the 500 damage from that Mortar shot? Oh, how about a little bit more, bro? So I get a Knight down and then get more Mortar shots. And we're the never-ending gift of suffering for our friend. So I think I can go Ice Spirit as well and keep the Knight alive a little bit longer. Oh my gosh, if I can kill the Mother Witch, please. Oh, wait, I can activate King Tower with the Piggy. If you didn't know, this interaction is mesmerizingly good. Activating King Tower against one Mother Witch Pig is a vibe. We're also going to go for a log here to go and pull back the Mini P.E.K.K.A. right into our Skeletons, finish off the Mother Witch so he doesn't get any pigs, and then, you know, go and swig and pig and try to dig some damage on the tower with the Ice Spirit. I don't know what I was going with the rhymes there. I was like, try to swing at him, and then I said swig because there was a pig, and I was like, oh, my stupid brain. I can't do rhyming tonight. It's 11 p.m. right now, so we're just winding down and getting some damage on our opponent's tower while relaxing and playing some Clash Royale to end the night. You guys let me know down below in the comment section. Do you play Clash Royale in the middle of the day, at night, or morning, or you just degenerately play it all day? For me, I like playing it at the night or in the morning. I very rarely play it throughout the day. So this guy's going to have a Dark Prince. I wonder if we can just go for our Skeletons here. And then if you drop the Skeletons in that particular placement, what happens is, obviously, the Dark Prince is going to take 2 individual shots to be able to finish it off. Weird that this guy is, like, relentlessly applying pressure on dual sides. Most of the time, people don't do that. And I genuinely don't care what happens. I just want to keep spamming more Mortars. More Mortars equals more wins, right? That's what I learned. Oh, what if I Tornado and I pull his Barbarians into the rocket? Okay, well, that was wishful thinking, I guess. Kind of worked, kind of didn't. It's fine. We can go for Skeletons here, go and pull the Dark Prince, and then go in for a Knight, and then it's going to take the Goblin Giant and also the Dark Prince. And that's going to be our best play possible. And then we go for an Ice Spirit, and then we stop the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And then we can go in for a log, finish off the Spear Goblins, and get Archers down again. So there's a lot of mechanical plays that you can do with this deck that aren't necessarily possible in most decks. You don't even have to play that well. The cost efficiency with your cards are really high, so you can mess around, meme around, and just be like, yo, I got you, fam. I'm just going to get crazy good elixir trades up in here. So we're going to go for a Knight. I think that it's going to be our best bet to do that. And then go for a log on the other side. And then see if we can log Rocket on this. A lot of people don't do this, but if you... Oh. Not going to lie. I intended to go and hit the Dark Prince with that Rocket. But the Dark Prince was raged, so it did mess up my timing a little bit. It's fine, though. Wait. What if I do one of these? Where I Tornado the Mini P.E.K.K.A. away, we lock on the Barbarians, we log here, and then he goes Mother Witch, which isn't really that meaningful to me at all. The Mortar gets a shot on the tower, that's great. We can go for another Mortar here, because it's going to go and take the Mother Witch targeting. Then I think we can start to, like, Rocket Cycle on him. If he loses the Mother Witch, he's in a very bad spot. Oh, we can make the Dark Prince jump over the river. We can go for Archers here. Remember, he just needs 2 Fireballs and he wins the game, but he's not going for it. I think he's a little bit scared. He is definitely a scared Sir, not going in for those Fireballs. We're going to make him Fireball us. We're trying to go for a Mortar at the same time. If we keep up with the relentless pressure, we might be able to win this game, even being at 400 HP. I literally memed around and messed around in this game so much, but we might be able to make it happen. I'm going to go for a log here. We are going to blast the Barbarians again. We're going to go for double Mortars. Wait, what if we Rocket Cycle him before he gets back to 2 Fireballs? That is also a possibility. Wait, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for the Rocket Cycle before he Fireballs me. I'm a massive menace. Oh, wait. I can just log and then Tornado, right? Doesn't that do enough? I might be wrong. Nope, it did. Cool. So even if you're in a screwed up situation where a big beatdown deck has 400 HP on your tower and you have a lot to work down, you can make it happen because your deck has destructive direct damage potential that they can't hope to match. 1 Mortar connection, a couple Rockets, and you can do thousands of damage in seconds. And it gets directly on the tower where their Goblin Giant has to make its way through an Ice Spirit, Tornado, and Mortar, which is really hard to make happen. I think it's kind of cool to show that you can suck with this deck and still win. Because most cycle decks are thought to be incredibly high skill, this deck is a lot more forgiving. The intrinsic strength of the cycle cards in the deck allow you to make good defenses and get huge pause elixir trades that you shouldn't be able to get. Yo, Yuru, he's got a sleeping baby dragon. There are so many sleepy baby dragon artistic banners in Clash Royale. I think that the baby dragon's never awake at this point. I'm gonna go for an Ice Spirit and try to get some damage. It's nice to force out something from the opponent to figure out what their deck is, especially if it's near their tower and you can rocket it and it's like an Executioner or a Harry Potter. I mean, this is a little bit more ambitious rocketing on top of Skeleton Dragons. I don't want to miss it though. You know, I missed the Dark Prince. I'm not missing Skeleton Dragons. Okay, Clash Royale, we got you. Okay, not a huge fan of playing against barbarians either, but it is what it is. We can go for our skellies here and then maybe cycle back to archers if we want to, or we can just log on the barbarians to cycle a little bit more damage on the tower. Oof. All right, well, we are back to rockets. I think it's better for us not to, because we're going to already take the -1 trade from the actual elixir collector, and then it would be an even worse trade if we rocket if we're not able to stop the next elixir that's spawning. So it was such a late rocket, I decided not to. Rather get positive elixir trades with, you know, activating King Tower against the Lumberjack. Oh, he's just going to go for a golem. Nice. I'm excited to see if we can defend this. We've got rocket, and we have the recipe for success if we play it out perfectly. But this is going to be an uphill battle. We got to crumble that big bag of rocks. So I'm going to go in for a mortar, and we'll rocket if he decides to spam a lot of stuff. But I don't want to rocket on skeleton dragons. We go for archers here. We do have Ice Spirit to stun the skeleton dragons for a short period of time. Maybe the skeleton dragons are not going to lock onto the knight. That's decent. We still have one archer. Archie the archer is living large. Okay. No, they're still alive. Okay. Decent. I hate this. I hate rocking and just knowing that my opponent's going to get 2 positive elixir from that. Yup, there was 2 elixir from that. Yikes. And now I don't have rocket and cycle for the skeleton dragons or electro dragon. But I can get back to it in double elixir. So in single elixir, it's a little bit more sketchy and scary. It's like you're playing Plants vs. Zombies and you just have to defend endlessly. That's kind of what's happening here. He's throwing the lumberjack zombie at us. Maybe we can go for archers here, go for an ice spirit, and then try to go and pull all this stuff together. That'd be nice if we can get a maximum rocket value without using tornado. I think we're going to do that. We're just not going to hit the one skeleton dragon off to the left. I think that's okay. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go for a mortar, pull back the golem. Everything needs to target that skeleton dragon if we have any hope of winning this game. Fortunately for us, the mortar's locking on the tower, and since it's got an evolution, it's got a lot of health. Dude, I don't think this guy realizes how much damage he's taking. Wait, we're racking up an insane amount, and the mortar's going to get another shot too. No way. We are making this man pay. That was just one mortar. And that was the mortar that defended him. Wait, what if I rocket here? And I cycle skeletons and like all these cheap cards, and I get back to another rocket? I might have just won the game. That was a massive outplay, if I do say so myself. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe it was just me abusing fast cycle cards at their full potential. But I don't think that that should be a thing. I went for one mortar on defense that ended up taking his tower to the point that I was able to blast 2 rockets and rocket away with the win. And he practically had a full health tower there too. And we sliced through that thing like butter. This guy finished 350 in the world. You jump, I jump as his clan. Well, we're going to be jumping straight through with the mortar. So are you going to copy my strat? Or what are you going to do, my man? Dark Prince on the other side. We could pull the Dark Prince a little bit if we wanted. I just want to play a little bit passive. 4-for-4 trade with the Inferno Dragon into the mortar. Not the worst thing in the world, but the bad thing is we have to deal with the Inferno Dragon after, so it's still going to cost me some elixir. I'm going to go for an Ice Spirit so the Inferno Dragon doesn't get any ideas of locking on my tower. And the cool thing about it is, even though it's a negative trade, I think it's better for me to do a -1 or 2 trade and then get quicker to the mortar evolution. So I'll take that all day long. We are playing against a top ladder foe, and I believe that he's going to be playing Mega Knight. So, yeah, that's the case. There it is. We're going to log right now. We're going to let the archer die to the Mega Knight. Then we're immediately going to drop a knight, so then the Mega Knight jumps onto that. Yo, our tower and the knight are targeting the Mega Knight, and the Mega Knight is not hitting the mortar. And it's barely on our side of the map. That's super cool. We can go for an Ice Spirit here, and then we can go for skeletons afterward if we need to. Oh, was he expecting the Mega Knight to jump there? He was. He 100% overcommitted. Now we can go in for a mortar. We know he's going to have Inferno Dragon, but the archer should skedaddle in front. So what is he going to do? He's going to go in for a Dark Prince. So we know that his best answer to this is going to be the Inferno Dragon. So that's the one card I'm slightly scared about. We're going to go for skeletons, and then I could go for a knight to protect the mortar evolution. Yeah, let's just go in for a knight and then log. I had fast reflexes, and the Goblin Gang didn't even lock onto the mortar. That's what happens if you're hovering a card and you're just waiting there in preparation. And then the opponent's like, well, that sucks. How am I taking all this damage? And then we get the gift of another goblin springing at our opponent. I'm jumping, man. Where are you jumping? I'm jumping through with my goblins on your tower, and your Mega Knight is stranded on your side of the map. It's secluded to a prison, and it's not a jumping zone for you, bro. You haven't even jumped near my tower. In fact, you haven't even got a strand of damage. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, we're going to go for a mortar, and we're going to keep him just enlisted on defense the entire time. If we can make a top 350 player in the world to get 0 damage against me, that would be hilarious. We'll try to Ice Spirit here and then go in for another mortar. It's nice that the Mega Knight got too close and then the mortar retargeted onto the tower. He still hasn't found damage. No, he's going to fireball. That doesn't count, guys. That's illegal. He did the cheat codes out here to get damage. And genuinely, this was one of the most dominant games I've had in a while. And even though we played against a top ladder player, he got toppled. Wait, as soon as he saw the defensive mortar cycling happening, he just dipped out of the game and didn't want to play. It's like, dude, I am not going to waste my time trying to break through that. And genuinely, it's a good decision. If you think you can break through a defensive rocket, tornado, archers, and ice spirit, you kind of have to hope that your opponent makes misplays. And judging by our clean defense that one, he didn't expect that to happen. And we've rocketed our way up to 9,200 in the world. It's time to anger the anger person to a different degree. And if he's going to go in for a goblin gang at the start right into archers, he doesn't know what's about to happen. It's going to get a little bit more frustrating for you, my fellow friend. If you're going to go in for a goblin barrel directly into a log and you're going to take a -1 trade, and then we protect the archer and the mortar with the knight, you're going to have a scary sight. Because the mortar's going to lock on the tower. He's going to go for arrows. Still not a good trade. Got a little bit of damage with the rascal on the right, but we're up 200 and we're up elixir. And I'm going to go for an ice spirit to force out even more. Protect our tower from a potential dark goblin or maybe even a princess at the river. And we're in a prime position right now. I like it. I vibe with it. I also love that his name is Angry Person and he's playing log bait. And log bait players hate when they get hard countered. So I'm going to go in for... Oh, never mind. If it was log bait, it would have been one of the easiest wins of my life. But since we're playing against a recruit stack, a little bit more challenging since I don't have enough splash damage to finish off those recruits as quickly as we would want. But it's still something I'm going to work with. Oh, you know what? What if I cycle enough mortars to protect the first mortar and then the second mortar, they all get protected? What if we just create an empire of mortars on the map? You guys can see, like, the first mortar is going to protect the second one and it's going to work out. They're going to be the tandem too. Oh, wait, it's going to lock onto the rascals as well. Nice. Unfortunately, we didn't finish off all the wall breakers, but it's still fine. I don't know if he's in a good spot right now because he's going to lose his rascals. The mortar's going to lock onto the tower in a couple seconds. Yep, and the knight's going to tank for the goblin. Nice. So the reason that I love this deck so much is when you've got a knight tanking for the goblin and it's just one goblin, your opponent doesn't want to log in that one goblin, but they kind of have to because otherwise the knight is going to take the targeting from the princess tower and the goblin just gets tons of damage. So he's in a pretty bad spot, and I think he recognizes that. Even though I played really aggressively with the log, it doesn't necessarily matter that much because you can go for archers in front of your tower and then skeletons in the back. And notice how we take literally no damage. And then we can log on the rascals. So if you have the ability to defend against the goblin barrel using skeletons, archers, ice spirit, it's a bit of a better mechanism than using the log on defense every time. Even though it's a cost-effective trade if you use the log on defense, think about it from this standpoint. What are you giving up as an opportunity cost? It's pretty high to not be able to use that log in a better situation on offense. So sometimes we will use it on defense. Like right now, we are going to go and drop it. And I think that was okay. But at the same time, like, man, this guy has got a lot of spam in his deck. There's a lot of craziness coming down in a couple seconds there. I'm going to get a knight down. He doesn't have Dark Goblin back in cycle because he just dropped it. He does have arrows and firecrackers, so he could start to snipe my archers, but we're nonchalantly just spamming mortars and more spam, and then I think we walk away with a win with the rockets. So easy win, and it's cool to beat a recruit stack even though we have no source of splash damage. Splashing onto his tower with our mortar and archers is all we needed to secure the victory. And honestly, Angry Person didn't seem angry in the slightest. It's a pretty pleasant surprise seeing such a happy Sir even when he loses, which is the exact opposite of what I was expecting. Most people hate getting hammered by rockets and mortar goblins. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an incredible rest for your day.